Payroll right here at notonthepayroll.com. You can check us out at Facebook. You can check us out at YouTube. You can check us out at Rumble. We've got the privilege of sitting down with Newton County Sheriff Robert Burby. Appreciate you taking time with us to sit down and answer a few questions and maybe talk about some things going on in the community. How's the new year been so far?
Steady.
Steady.
Yeah, you know, in the new year always there's a closeout of
Sure.
a previous year and a setup of the current year, and so January has always been a busy month for law enforcement.
Okay.
When it comes to what we do and everything and what we're going to do. I want to thank you for coming by and everything and reaching out to us. I try to keep the public abreast of what's going on. The best things or interest to the public. So I have a few things that we got going and have done. The past week I was in Lufkin attending a mental health board at the Burke Center. I got selected to be on their board of directors. Myself and the sheriff from Polk County, Sheriff Byron Lyons.
Okay.
And we're on the board and of the Burke Center. So we know that there's some mental health issues that's not been addressed or not been addressed properly, and a lot of it has to do with the money,
right?
Funding. So we're going to try to tap into the state to get the funding necessary to create more initiatives for intermediate and long-term care for folks who have mental health concerns.
Gotcha. And you guys really kind of see a lot of that. I mean,
oh yes.
It almost seems like that just kind of falls in the sheriff's lap.
Yes, and by law, there's only certain things we can do, and we are kind of limited per se, because if someone is a danger to themselves or others, then we could take them to the Burke Center.
Gotcha.
But if they're not, then we have nothing to hold them on.
Gotcha.
And so we're looking for a aftercare, intermediate, and long-term facilities or care programs for those type folks, because we get several calls a week on that has mental health concerns, and the way the system is set up, we're not doing a good job.
Does it seem like folks who have mental issues, mental disabilities, whatever, however you want to frame that, seem like it's kind of fallen through the cracks of the system?
Oh yes. Right now, this is the deal. You have some folks who have legit mental health issues, concerns, and then you have folks who have had an addiction problems, cope with some type of mental health concerns, and you put those things together and you really have problems.
Right.
And so those are things that we face. All our guys are CIT, is critical intervention trained and everything, but there's only so much. We can only go so far.
Right.
And I was talking to the members on the meeting last week at the Burke Center, and I recall talking about mental health when I was the chief of police over almost 20 years ago in Texas.
Okay.
And we were talking about mental health concerns, and we're still talking about them. Now the state has a $34 billion surplus this year. And hopefully that we'll be able to tap into that. We talked to our state rep about it, and we're in the Sheriff's Association, our region here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do everything we can during this legislative session to bring attention and to get funding for these program. I have a meeting up there and looking, I think on the 31st, to be our first board meeting word since we've been selected for the board. I'm looking forward to it. So
that's kind of kicking off a new year.
Right.
Well, not to belabor the point, but talking specifically about mental health issues and things like that. I mean, you guys kind of had a wild ride here over the past few days with the situation there with, I guess it was serving a constable serving an eviction notice.
Yeah. And first of all, I just saw Chief Jackson. I'm glad that he's recovering and everything. And it was nice to see him in uniform. And we shook hands and hugged him and stuff and told him and changed pleasantries. And I want to say, he's a strong soldier because when I got out on the scene, he was still in tactical mode doing what he needed to do. And I was surprised to find out he was shot.
Wow.
So anyway, I'm glad, prayers up to him and all the other officers were there. I want to thank the public for all the outpouring of thanks and concerns that they had for us, all of us that was out there.
Absolutely.
Responded to the scene. It is, it's good that, nobody else was hurt any worse than that.
Sure.
I want to thank all the law enforcement agencies that showed up without a moment.
Around the region.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like, man.
Yeah, I told the folks on the news, anytime there's a officer down call goes out, they're all coming.
Sure.
They don't have to get called. They're coming.
Right.
Because that's, we all share the same DNA when it comes to caring for one another. And we feel deeply when a brother or sister in blue is hurt or injured and everything. It affects us deeply. And another thing too, one of the reporters asked me, what goes through your mind when you respond to a situation like that? I said, you just don't know. It is one of the most unsettling feelings to have.
Yeah.
Because first of all, you can't get there fast enough.
Right.
And you got to make sure you get there safely and
Sure.
everything. And you don't know what happened, who's hurt or whatever.
Right.
Because first information on the scene is always raw like that. So it is a feeling that I don't like to experience at all. But I have over my almost 30 years felt it, and it's just not good. But strangely enough, all those times I have had that feeling that the officer was okay.
Yeah.
Turned out to be okay and everything, like in this case. But again, in that situation, because it's an ongoing investigation by Texas Rangers, anytime there's involved on a peace officer, the Texas Rangers get involved, and they're leading on an investigation. You can't take the law in your own hand.
Right.
The redress of your concerns or disagreement, your disputes, is in the courts.
Right.
If peace officers show up to your place with some paperwork and everything, that means that they're legally there.
Right.
And they got actions that they must initiate and take.
Gotcha.
Now, and you firing on them or causing a more of a ruckus is only going to make more of a problem for you in the long run. So, that's all I want to say about that. You need to act out on your intellect, not your emotions.
That's right. Yeah.
And like I told those folks, we had more, and like for a better term, we had more guns than they did.
Right. Exactly.
And we had more people out there, and that was in other words, it's a no-win situation. So.
Exactly. I mean, what's crazy is the part that they don't show in the movies is how long that when folks take things into their own hands, how long they actually spend in jail.
Yeah.
They don't go into all that. It's just the guns blazing in this whole thing. But I mean, Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, the moment that they show up on your doorstep, they're there legally.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just showing up haphazardly, you know.
That's right.
And so, you know, at that point, it's the smart move to kind of see what we need to do at that point, you know.
Yeah, unfortunately, I know if we have more people that does abide by what is asked of them,
Yeah.
and only a few incidents like this that go south. But again, when it goes south, we're there to stop it.
Right.
And
So tell me how obviously with the first of the year, you get a new judge comes in, a new commissioner comes in, people are sworn back into office and the whole 9 yards and this type of thing. How does it seem? What from your angle as sheriff, does it seem like kind of a transfer of power for the most part? I hate to put it like that because it seems like a national. I mean, that seems like a more of a
DC thing.
DC thing, yeah. But I mean, just even on a local level, obviously there was a little bit of contention around this election and this transfer and all this stuff. But from your angle, I mean, how does it look like? Obviously, we're only 18 days into the year, so I mean, unless Judge Cochran is Jesus' son, he's not performing miracles this quick. But he's everybody's at work doing their thing. But what's your angle or what's your thought process about just this transfer and this change in season?
Well, again, I want to congratulate the new folks, Judge Cochran and Commissioner Powell, and also the ones I think Commissioner White got sworn in again. It's just a reset of some of the same issues that the old court had. I spoke with the new judge about a month or so ago, and I said just that. I said, you're going to have the same problems, but people are going to expect you to change everything overnight.
Sure.
And everything, and that's not the case because there's due process.
Right.
I like to use that word due process because there's a process in everything we do.
Sure.
And anyone who's been in government, whether it's municipal government, county government, or the federal government, there's a lot of bureaucracy. There's a lot of dotting your I's and crossing your T's. And I've been in all those different levels, and I find that the municipal government and county government is more complicated than the federal government when I was in the military. But anyway, you have to abide by the rules and everything. And folks, and I know we live in a society that the microwave society, as I call it, won't change right now and everything. You put something in a microwave and patting your feet. You put it in there for 17 seconds and you're patting your feet. So,
Sure.
It just doesn't happen that quick. And give those administrators, those elected officials a chance. I reach out to the public to get involved in these processes.
Right, absolutely.
Come to the commissioners' meeting. Volunteer to be a part of these different entities. We have a volunteer initiative program, and I'm not just putting it out because it's a sheriff's office thing. Come and get involved and see what we do.
Yeah.
You can help. We had, during the holidays, I had my folks stretched all over this county doing things for Christmas and everything, and that's something that they do. A horse camp. We got horse camp set up for this year. We're going to have 2 sessions. It's going to be in June, and we're in the process of getting that scheduled. And like this is from last year,
right.
And everything, and we're very proud of this. Every time we talk about it, we get that warm and fuzzy feeling because it was working with the kids. We feel that
and horses.
Yeah, horses, and which is a very, very therapeutic. I have
Sure.
6,
Right.
You know, and I know how therapeutic it is to have the horses. And one of the things I find out when I talk to my horses, they don't talk back.
Well, some people wonder how you kind of low key, steady. Now we know it's horse therapy. So
yeah, I don't get too excited on everything because you get tunnel vision. But I've been doing this a while, so I'm kind of like
you figured it out.
Figured it out and everything, and I've been truly blessed by the grace of God to be able to do this job, and that is why I'm doing this job.
Yeah,
that's why I look forward in doing it as long as I stay healthy. I do plan to. People ask me, "Are you running for re-election?" I said, "I think I can get everything done that I need to get done in 4 years."
Right.
You know.
Right.
So anyway, and I found this out long time ago when I was the chief of police. They say the average time for you to change your environment in a police department was 5 to 7 years. And I said, "Oh, nah, I'm good. I'm quick. I can get that done." I changed the culture. I was there 14 years.
Right.
And about that 5th, 6th year, I could see some of the things that I was trying to get done was starting to show the results. And it was correct. It takes a while.
Yeah.
It takes a while and everything. And one of the things that we suffer from is that our society is not patient.
Yeah.
You know, there's never enough money to go around.
Right.
And we have to do things, you know, we have to be very tactful when we use our money to do certain things. And I'm trying to make Newton County great. Make Newton County, whereas people, when they say Newton County, they don't say Newton County. They say Newton County.
Right. There's some excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or that's Newton County.
Yeah.
You know, that's what, you know, I get up every morning and that is my motivation.
Yeah.
To be able to do that. And I'm not just selling wolf tickets.
Right.
Because obviously, you know, I've had 2 successful careers and everything. And I'm doing this because I want to, not because I have to. And it needs to be done.
What would you say is, you know, what would you say is the hardest part about being sheriff?
Well, not being able to clone yourself. Because one of the things that folks say that, well, I don't see you enough. I say, well, where you been?
Yeah.
You know, because if you don't think you think I'm not out here working, ask my wife.
Yeah.
You know, I'm somewhere doing something all the time.
Right.
And there is no such thing as off days for me. People get mad when they call at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm not sitting behind their desk.
Right.
You know, but the hardest thing is I can't be everywhere.
Right.
At once.
I got you.
Or if you need something, call me. Give me some advance notice. If you want me to be somewhere, call me in advance because just like this morning, I came up. I had a meeting popped up on my calendar that I knew nothing about.
Okay.
You know, and it wasn't your meeting; it was another meeting. And there's times I have meetings. I have 3. There's always 2 or 3 meetings at the same time.
Right.
On some days.
Sure.
And everything, but just the hardest thing is just not being able to be everywhere at once.
That's right. That's right.
You know, but I try to do my very best.
That makes sense.
You know, but the job isn't. You know, the job is not hard for me because I knew what I was getting into, and my guys are always, and girls, guys are sex neutral. My guys always be looking at me and say, "You didn't show any emotion." No, I told you guys I've been through this before.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get too ahead of myself.
Yeah.
And I'm used to hearing bad things.
Right.
You know.
Are there any encouragements you'd like to throw out there to the public just far as, you know, what to watch out for, things that may be on the radar in the criminal world, they may be, you know, kind of needing to kind of cue in on?
Yes, in the last month or so, there's a lot of different scams out there. And those, I am amazed at how innovative these knuckleheads are when they're scamming folks. And they really target the elderly.
Right.
Send money, like we talked about it before. So and so is your loved one is in jail, and we need some sum of money to bond them out. Well, I don't know a sheriff's office or a police department in the world that's going to call in the United States. It's going to call you and ask you to come bond so and so out.
Right.
You know, that's why they get a call. You know,
it's actually a pretty slick move.
Yeah.
Because most people don't register that's not a normal part of the process.
Well, I had a guy call me, and he fell for it, and he was getting ready to send them. He sent the money, but when he sent it, he thought about it, and he went and got his letter back, you know, his check back. So he was very, very lucky. And I did a press release on it. But there's so many different things that comes on up. Like I get scams on my cell phone where people want you to open this particular website or whatever, or text. And I don't do that. If I didn't text you, if I don't know you, and even if you got the same name, right, you just send me a IP address, I'm not going to hit on it, and I hope that no one else either.
Yeah.
Delete it.
Yeah.
You know, if it's important, it'll come back to you, and it come back legit, in a legitimate way. So.
Right. That's exactly right.
Yeah. So. Can I call you back? Okay, I'll call you right back. Bye bye.
Yeah, I mean that, and what's crazy is, you know, I was listening to some technical guys talking about the thing that is most utilized in the hacker world is hacking into somebody's email, and there being 10,000 unread emails. They start going through and sifting out who you actually have in correspondence with. Mm-hmm. And then they hijack, or if they don't hijack those email addresses that are sending to you, they actually they clone it in a way. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's an O that's changed out for a 0, or this changed out for a that, you know, that type of thing. And then they start sending correspondence. Next thing you know, because this is one of the things the company that I work for, they just got into here 3 months ago, 3 months ago, I think it was, where they had a situation just like that. Matter of fact, not only that, they cloned one of the emailers, which is a vendor for the company. They found their number, cloned their number, and then called the office from that individual's number. That's how crazy this thing is getting.
Yeah, they're very complicated in the way they do those things, and they hit public officials a lot.
Yeah, I can see that.
And they send out emails and everything. They get your contacts.
Yeah,
you know that's what they want. They got those contacts, and there's times where they will send you an email and say, you did this, and this, and unless you give me so much money, I'm going to send all your contacts this information.
Right.
And a lot of folks fall for that.
Yeah.
I just tell them, make sure you CC me when you send it to them. You know.
Well, so they need to be paying attention to scams. Scams online, scams on their phones, scams on text, scams on everywhere.
And another thing, solicitation, people coming to your house unwanted. I had a guy came to the ranch the other day and was trying to sell some asphalt. I didn't ask him to come to my place.
Right.
And so you got to be very leery of those folks and everything, and call us, because we have ran down a couple of people that
taking advantage of the situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Other than that, make sure that you don't leave valuables in your car if you do lock your car, because we very ever find a car window that was broken out and burglarized.
Okay.
Normally, if you leave it on the side of the road, you can expect it would be broken out. But if you're in your home or somewhere, that's not the case, because they don't want to make the noise to wake you up. But on the highway, always try to move your vehicle. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt if your car stopped. We'll put a tag on it, but be advised too, by us putting a tag on, it's going to let people know that it's sitting.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a double-edged thing, and everything. So,
well, Sheriff, I appreciate you taking time with us. Any last words?
Again, I'm just glad that everything that Chief Jackson is doing well. Like I said, I'm glad to see him this morning. He's back on the job. The brothers and sisters in blue, we're that thin blue line, between law and order and chaos.
That's right.
And everything. So
that's exactly right.
A lot of folks don't like us for various reasons, but we're out there to serve them.
Right.
We're the good guys.
Sure.
You remember that back it used to be the movie, the good guys always win.
Right.
We're the good guys.
Right.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And everything.
Once again, we appreciate you taking time with us. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Not On The Payroll right here at notonthepayroll.com. Check us out at Facebook, YouTube, and on Rumble.